Welcome back, guys. So today we will discuss about constructor. We will see what is constructor and why we will use constructor and how it is important in our automation testing and how it will be useful. So we will see all those things today. So what is constructor? So constructor is a method which will be called by default when you create object. And if you do not define a constructor, it is called as default constructor. Now, the question arises, how to define a constructor? So just to let you know, constructor is nothing but it is same like a class. So it takes the same name of your class. I will show you how. So the importance of constructor comes when we use constructor to initialize our variables. So let's start to see how it works in our real time. Okay, so I have defined my namespace here. I will give a body. Okay, so inside it we will go with a class. So I will say public class. Class name, we will say the class name will be program, and we will give body to it. Now, ideally, after class, till now, we were going with a method, say like public void, a method name say get data, okay, and the body of the method. But if you want to define a constructor above method and below class, we will define the constructor. The reason is so that it will be globally defined and we can use it, and it will not be restricted to a method itself. So we will define it here, and as I told, the signature for the constructor will be same like the class. It will take the name of the class. So it will be like class, sorry, public program and the body. All right. So this is how we will define our constructor. Now, I will give you a scenario where we will see that how it will be useful for us. Okay. Sorry. So how it will, because it is a method, we should have a bracket here. Okay. So as I told in starting that constructor is a method which will be called by default when you create object. Fine. So from here we will see that why we need the constructor. Okay, before that, let's see, this is our method. Okay, and what we want is we want to say call a name inside the method. How we will do it? Like, let's see, like console dot write line my name is, and I want to give the name dynamically here. Okay, so what to do? Okay, so for that, give me a moment. The name should come from object creation. Okay, so every time I create a object for this particular class, okay, every time I create object for this particular class, I want to send a different name. For example, I am creating one name variable below class. Suppose, let's see, I will create a name here. Public class program is here, and inside this class I will define a string, sorry, a variable, say string name. So this is our globally defined variable in this particular class. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have defined the variable. Now the name we have to call is from here. Okay. And we need to execute that particular name when we will come to our object and run it. Then at the time of run, when the object will be executed, simultaneously the constructor will get executed and the name will come and it will give the result. So we have to do in that way. So if you want to call the fields present in your own class, then best way to call them is using this operator. So we will use this operator, this dot name. Okay. So this is the name which is here. We have defined it and we are using this operator to uh, uh, call this name from that global variable, but we have not used the operator, so we need to show that operator. Now it's fine. See, the error has gone. So why we are using this here? So this operator refers to the current class object. You got my point? So this operator is used as a object for this particular class program. So as you know, how we define object, like object dot method. In similar way, name is a field and this is the object for this particular current class. So we are using object dot that field or the method. So we are calling this particular global variable here. Okay. But the thing is, what we are doing here, this is our constructor, and what we are going to do here is say here it is this dot name. Now fine. Now what we have to do is we have to create an object in our main block. So what we will do for main block, because all our execution process will be done in our main block. So what we will do, we will write like static void main in this way. Fine. And we will define our object here. Okay. So what will happen? So suppose I'm going to define the object. So our class is program and we have defined it as a B as our object and then new as a memory allocation and then program. So we have defined it. Now what we have to do? Now we have to come here. If you will see, there is an error and it is saying non-nullable field name must contain a null value. And if you will come here, you can also see that there is no argument here. Correct. So how we have to resolve this particular error, and what we have to do, now we have to give a argument here. Suppose we are giving, say I need to call a name, say Rahul or say Himanshu. Okay, now if you will see the error, what it is saying, program does not contain a constructor that takes one argument. So this particular class is exact replica of this particular constructor. So if you are giving an argument here, the same thing you need to give here as well. in the as a argument. So if you will see the error, it is saying non-nullable field name must contain a null value. So firstly, we will give a argument here, string, and we will give it a name. So what is happening? This is not a global variable defined. Our global variable which is defined is this string name. Okay, this particular variable is our global variable, but the calling part for this particular variable name will die once it will come out of this particular block. Okay, so if you want to call this name here, if once that particular test case will get executed and it will come to 35th line, and it will see that okay, the object has been called, it will come from here and it will go here to the constructor, because this and this both are in sync, it will come here. But now it cannot go outside this particular block because its limitation is till here only, till this block only, and it cannot go outside this particular block. So we need to use this block, sorry, this variable, to execute and come to here and call run this particular details or the set of codes. So how we will do it? So for that, as I have told you, this is the operator. This is the operator which will be used as an object for the particular class. So if you will use this and call this name, this name is the global variable name, and equal to name, this restricted variable or the variable which belongs to only constructor. Okay, lovely. So how the logic will work? Once the call will come from here as a Himanshu, the call will go to name here. Okay, then it will come to this particular set of codes as Himanshu, and this dot name which belongs to the global variable will come here, and then it will go from here to the method get data, and when you will define the method using object, it will be executed. So this will be our logic, correct? So let's execute the object b dot get data, correct? Now see, we will run it and we will see the result. So guys, if you will see, when I am running this program, if I will come here and if I will try to run this program, it will throw an error. Okay, so why it was doing that? So if I will build it to see if any error occurs, it is saying that program does not contain a static main method suitable for entry point. So if you will see here, we need entry point and we have created it, but if you will see, we kept it as a small m. The main should have a capital M, then only it will run. Okay, so if I will come here down to one of the more program, and if I will do that and I will build my solution, do not worry about it build and what I'm doing with solution, I will tell you. So if you will see, no issues found. So if I will try to run it now, the outcome should be my name is Himanshu. So it will come. See, my name is Himanshu. Now, what if I want to give two arguments? Sorry, means two names. If suppose I want to give like Himanshu and then Rai. So do not disturb the current constructor or the object, just create one more. Okay, and you will be good to go. But again, I'm saying if you will create two names, you are giving two arguments to the particular object, so the same will go here to the constructor. What I mean to say is, suppose I am creating one more constructor, and in object I'm giving, say, I'm creating one new object, and I'm giving a Sachin is our class. Suppose B and T is our object, and I'm giving Himanshu and Rai. Okay, so I'm giving two arguments here. The same will go with our constructor. So we have to give two arguments in our constructor. So if we will come here to the second argument, we have given one, we will give another string, call it as, say, last name. Okay, and give the variable, the global variable, string last name. Okay, and just call that this dot last name is equal to last name, and you are good to go. Okay, we will discuss about it more in our framework structure. When we will be creating the framework, we will see how it is useful. Okay.